The video begins with a shield ship flying somewhere over New York in rainy weather. It was night and therefore a girl named Maria was sleeping when suddenly someone attacked her. It was a Black Widow and she was not alone. Nick Fury was sitting in the corner. He told Maria that he did not want to harm she. He came to warn her. Everyone thought that Nick was dead, but no. Nick said that all this time he was watching Maria. He gave her some kind of disc and told her not to trust her colleagues and even the government. He also told her not to trust even the Avengers. The Black Widow let go of Maria and Maria tried to grab the gun, but Nick had a dazzling technology that blinded her for a few seconds. Nick disappeared and immediately at that moment a guard ran into Maria's room. Meanwhile, the Avengers were in the pizzeria. They gathered to celebrate the appearance of Miss Marvel in the Avengers. She had been on the team for 2 weeks and had already saved the planet twice, and the Hulk and Black Panther stayed at their base to guard her from the villains while the Avengers were in the pizzeria. Miss Marvel was talking about her childhood and about serving in the army. The Avengers were communicating when suddenly they heard screams on the street. They looked at the street and saw a monster flying down the street. All the Avengers went to help, and Tony stayed to pay for pizza. A waitress came up to him. He was going to pay, but suddenly the girl shot. He was hit with a dart and Tony fell unconscious. It was the Black Widow. Tony woke up surrounded by Nick Fury's Black Widow and Mockingbird. Nick wanted to show him something. They went into the room where the alien girl was lying. Fury said that this was a werewolf who could turn into the appearance of any person or character, and they had already begun to take over the world. Nick said that Miss Marvel found this girl in Hydra, and when she died, her appearance changed, which meant that aliens had infiltrated Hydra undercover, and this meant that anyone could be this alien creature. Fury also said that this girl had something similar to a communicator. Fury, so I found out that the creature was receiving messages from 2 places, from the shield ship and from the Avengers mansion, which meant that one of the Avengers was an alien who just had the appearance of a superhero. Tony couldn't believe it. Meanwhile, the Avengers were fighting against a monster on the street. They left it to Miss Marvel to destroy this monster, and they looked at it from the side. Meanwhile, a girl named Mockingbird said that when a villain named Baron Straker wanted to kill them with Hawkeye, but his assistant, who was actually an alien, asked to spare Hawkeye. Mockingbird and Hawkeye were put in different prisons, and therefore Fury thinks that Hawkeye was replaced with an alien in prison and now in the Avengers spy team. Tony couldn't believe it and left. The Avengers coped with the monster and were already walking through the Avengers base discussing today. Tony was watching everything in his invisible suit. He was trying to find an alien, but suddenly a Black Panther noticed him and he had to turn off his invisibility. Tony told about the whole situation that Fury told him about and asked the Avengers directly who is an alien here werewolf. Tony said that the suspect here is Hawkeye, but Hawkeye could not believe it. The Avengers began a tense situation. Everyone suspected each other. Iron Man and Miss Marvel wanted to grab Hawkeye to interrogate him and find out if he was an alien, but the Hulk stood on Hawkeye's side. Hawkeye shot Iron Man and a battle began between the Avengers. The Hulk attacked Miss Marvel, but she was able to defeat him because she was stronger than him. Tony told the Avengers that she could no longer trust them since any of them could be a werewolf. Tony said that there were no more Avengers and flew away. Hawkeye said that Iron Man is right and that there are no more Avengers. But Captain America began to calm everyone down, saying that the enemy is trying to achieve this and that. Now he will lead the whole team behind him. All the remaining Avengers joined him, and Fury was watching everything from the roof. Now he knew that Iron Man was not a werewolf. Now it remains to find out from the remaining Avengers who is a werewolf. Evening came and Captain America entered the hangar and informed someone that they would soon take over the Earth. A Mockingbird came out to him and they both turned back into werewolves. That's who was actually a werewolf. Meanwhile, Thor was in Asgard. He was talking to his friend about his father Odin. He said that the Tree of Life had not yet been restored and therefore his father had little strength. When suddenly a ray appeared and Thor's father came out of it. He was very weak and tortured. His father said that a war was coming to their world. 3 warriors entered the hall and reported that Hemble called Odin because he discovered something. Thor knew that his father had no strength and volunteered to go there himself. Hemble said that a ship was approaching their world and that this ship exuded evil. Thor said that he himself would fly and destroy this ship. Hemble opened a portal and Thor was already in space. He flew through asteroids and flew up to the ship. As soon as Thor flew up, he was immediately attacked. But Thor was able to summon lightning and to destroy the weapon. Thor made a hole in the ship and made his way into it. Suddenly someone attacked Thor. Thor easily overcame this alien. The villain was able to approach Thor's hammer and picked it up. Thor could not believe it because only he could pick it up. Now the villain had the hammer and he could easily defeat Thor. The alien hit Thor, but missed and hit the control panel of the ship, and the ship began to fall. Meanwhile, Sif came to Odin to tell him that Thor had gone alone to destroy the ship. The villain tried to destroy Thor, but when he swung, he somehow teleported to Asgard where all Thor's friends were. The villain began to scatter everyone around. The villain tried to attack Odin with a hammer, but the king alone did not let him do it and was able to grab the alien. Suddenly Thor also teleported back, and then the villain, he said that their auras are similar to those of the demons who attacked them, but their speech and bodies were not like demons. Thor realized that this alien took them for fire demons, but they were not them, and they freed him. Thor asked him how he faced the army of fire, and the alien told the story of how the Carbinians built their cities in the burning sky, living in harmony until the demons appeared. The demons began to kidnap people. Then they saw flashes in the sun and realized that they were finished, and they escaped from their home world. They loaded all the survivors in a cold sleep on the ship, and he was chosen as the defender of the people. They were able to escape and are still hiding from them. The alien said that he alone protects his people while they are in a dream, and that he needs a powerful weapon for this. Thor offered him his hammer, but his father suggested that they go to the man who made weapons. They came to him and made weapons. After that, they went into the portal which brought them to the alien ship. This ship has already attacked the fire demons, but the stranger was already a new weapon with which they could destroy them. But it wasn't all suddenly appeared in the sky and queen of the demons. It was Amora, which was previously were enchantress. Amora attacked them and called other demons. Thor with a stranger tried to communicate with the enchantress, and the enchantress suddenly came to himself and asked Thor for help. But she did not speak as she began again to manage. Seth noticed as one of the demons got on the boat where he was in the dream people, but she could destroy it and were able to take control of the ship. But suddenly the demons again unable to get to the ship. Seth, they were detained. She could do it for a long time, but helped her weapons on the ship that helped to destroy the demons. Thor realized that if you destroy the enchantress, and all the demons will perish with it. They tried to attack her, but she was very strong. They realized that only together they can destroy it, and then they called the zipper which could impress her, and the demons had gone. The enchantress disappeared. Thor and Sif were able to destroy all the demons, and now Alien Nation was saved by the alien. They were rewarded with Thor and Sif flew